Beginning with the formal start of the Wyatt 6 and Alexa Bliss storyline, for several weeks, there have been intermittent plans to connect Alexa with the Wyatts. However, SmackDown's February 7th issue has verified that the tale is formally happening and has already begun. Candice and Alexa Bliss faced off in a women's Elimination Chamber qualifying match on SmackDown. The most interesting event happened in the middle of the competition, even though Alexa ultimately won and qualified for the match. A large static screen took over the broadcast when Alexa and Candice were fighting, followed by a smaller static screen that emerged in the center of the screen. Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt 6 static screen was the cause of this. It wasn't a broadcast glitch or error. Before they arrived in June of last year, the identical screen appeared multiple times. There were no words or anything similar displayed on this screen, and there was no code to scan. The message was conveyed via the motionless screen, which was designed to indicate that the Wyatt 6 have now formally locked in on Alexa Bliss. Thus, it appears that they are handling this tale quite similarly to Alexa's encounter with Uncle Howdy a few years ago. Over time, Howdy was gradually influencing Alexa and entering her thoughts, and it appears that this is going to begin to happen once more. This static screen served as the initial indication that Alexa Bliss will be the focal point of the Wyatts' upcoming program. Whether they approach Alexa Bliss amicably or antagonistically is definitely part of the mystery at the moment. Given how close Alexa Bliss was to Bray Wyatt, it is obvious that Uncle Howdy adores and admires her. However, what would happen if Alexa wasn't really ready to join the Wyatt 6 at once? Is Uncle Howdy going to be sympathetic and let Alexa be independent? Or is Howdy going to use Nikki Cross to persuade Alexa Bliss to support their cause? However, it appears that the first minor teaser to at least begin this plot was February 7th. And now, as the Wyatt 6 attempt to sign Alexa Bliss, the number of fresh teases we'll see on SmackDown over the coming weeks will only increase. The Wyatt 6 Twitter account provided yet another awesome preview for the entire narrative. Around Alexa's SmackDown bout, the official Wyatt 6 page only had one word uploaded on it, and that was the word "she" in all caps. There is much more to it than just the obvious reference to Alexa Bliss made by the Wyatt 6 in that post. The Wyatt 6 just verified a fan hypothesis that dates back to last May by posting that statement during Alexa's game. For 3 months in a row last spring, Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt 6 had previews for their comebacks posted wherever you looked. Additionally, in one of these teasers, Uncle Howdy was seen distributing recruitment letters to his Wyatt 6 members. Although Uncle Howdy did not include names on any of the letters, it was simple to determine who he was referring to in each one thanks to some context clues in his recruitment letters. Uncle Howdy wrote a letter to each member of Wyatt 6 in that manner. However, there was one letter from Howdy that wasn't addressed to a current Wyatt 6 member. The recipient of this misplaced letter was someone Howdy merely called "she." Howdy wrote in this enigmatic letter from the spring of last year that mountains should shake when she speaks because they are waiting for her. He is limited to opening the door. She has to decide whether to walk through. Fans wanted to know who this other apparent woman was that Howdy was writing this letter to because he had already addressed another separate letter to Nikki Cross. The biggest fan idea was that Alexa Bliss was the she that Uncle Howdy was referring to in that letter. Howdy sent Alexa Bliss that letter of recruiting. He essentially said that Alexa had the door to the family wide open, but that he couldn't make her go through it and that she should make that choice for herself. The complete confirmation that Alexa Bliss was the enigmatic woman Uncle Howdy had been referring to all along can be found in this new post by Wyatt 6, where the word "she" is written in all caps, just like it was in Howdy's old, enigmatic letter from last spring. We can now undoubtedly return to that enigmatic recruitment letter and conclude that Howdy did, in fact, draft it for Alexa Bliss. Howdy simply verified that it was meant for Alexa from the beginning, so there's no need to speculate that it was her. After a whole year, the fan idea was finally validated, but it took a while to get that payoff. Ever since he sent out those invitations last year, Uncle Howdy has wanted Alexa Bliss to be a part of the group. Uncle Howdy did not, therefore, overlook or forget Alexa. Alexa Bliss has been sitting there unanswered for the entire time since the particular invitation was sent to her last year. Uncle Howdy appears to be planning to remind Alexa Bliss of the invitation he sent her last year now that she is back on TV, and he will likely demand a response from her. That was such a significant revelation on the Wyatt 6 whole past. After mentioning this enigmatic woman for a considerable amount of time, Howdy has now finally verified that it was, in fact, Alexa Bliss. The sister Abigail is still Alexa's final maneuver, which is precisely the same maneuver Uncle Howdy used as well. they both have strong ties to Bray Wyatt, and they are both honoring him in various ways. It appears that they will soon cross paths and connect. For the sake of the ongoing Wyatt storyline, Alexa's qualification for the Women's Elimination Chamber match will be a significant appearance to watch. Perhaps a more extensive teaser for the Wyatts and Alexa will be revealed at the actual Elimination Chamber. There was no further context or information this week, just the static screen, but you can tell that they plan to increase the number of hints in the upcoming weeks. Additionally, given Alexa's lengthy relationship with Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy, it's likely that these next teasers and hints will feature a walk down memory lane featuring multiple flashbacks to Alexa's most memorable experiences since entering Bray Wyatt's universe. We're officially headed toward a reunion with Uncle Howdy and Alexa Bliss, and it will be interesting to watch how that story develops on SmackDown. Let's now discuss a few significant on- and off-screen themes for the Judgment Day. In place of Finn Balor, Dominik Mysterio was forming a partnership with JD McDonough to contend with the War Raiders for the World Tag Team titles. Despite some outside intervention from Carlito, the match did not go in the Judgment Day's favor. So that everyone may observe the setup. When Finn Balor returns, he will be furious to find out that Dominik Mysterio not only took his place in the tag team titles rematch, but also that he was unable to complete the task necessary to restore the belts. When Finn returns, Dominik will have a lot to deal with and manage there. However, JD McDonough was the other major topic of discussion throughout this night's Judgment Day. JD was genuinely giving a once-in-a-lifetime performance. He struck the back of his head and neck on the commentary table after a while outside the ring moonsault. Additionally, he was the target of some quite forceful maneuvers. JD made it through the match, but Raw fans claimed that just as he was getting to the backstage area, he actually passed out on the ground. The fans were quite worried about JD's well-being because of this. Dominik even posted a gif of admiration for JD on his social media accounts. According to reports, JD was admitted to a nearby hospital and would personally update everyone in the middle of the night. JD reported that he was doing well and thanks everyone for their help and concern. He stated that he is regrettably coping with a punctured lung and multiple broken ribs. He stated that although he would be sidelined for a few months, he is thankful because things could have turned out much worse for him. JD will therefore require some time to heal, but it's wonderful to learn that things are not as awful as initially thought. Additionally, it appears that WWE may utilize this JD injury to further develop Dominik and Finn's tale. According to the current narrative, Finn has been recuperating for the past few weeks after suffering a personal injury. When Finn returns and finds out that Dominik had his tag team titles rematch while he was away, lost the rematch, and that JD McDonough even got hurt while Dominik was watching, it will likely hit him very hard. Given the current state of their relationship, it is easy to picture Finn placing all the blame for JD's injury on Dominik after learning that he was hurt during a tag team bout with Dominik. JD is Finn's right-hand guy and a longtime close buddy. Finn seems like the kind of person who would have told Dominik that if Finn had been on his side that evening, JD would never have been harmed. Finn departs for a few weeks, and Dominik manages to lose JD McDonough, the tag team titles rematch, and everything else. Given all of these conditions, it's difficult to imagine a world in which Finn is kind and amiable toward Dominik Mysterio. For this reason, Dominik Mysterio's battle will undoubtedly continue. His problems with Liv Morgan were recently resolved when he helped Liv and Raquel defeat Naomi and Bianca Belair to earn a tag team titles match. However, his problems with Finn Balor appear to be getting worse, so Dominik will need to make amends with Finn before things worsen. However, what do you think of the stories from today? Please share your thoughts below. Remember to subscribe with all alerts enabled, and hit like if you liked it. I appreciate you everyone watching.